As a member of the Budget Committee, I am glad that the Senate is voting on a budget this week. And I'm even more glad that we're going to be taking a vote on the Ryan Republican budget as well. This is a good week for the Congress because we are showing in sharp contrast for the people of the United States two starkly different visions of a path forward for responsibly dealing with our deficits and debt, for helping the private sector grow and create jobs, and for keeping our promises to our seniors and veterans. Those are the three core values that the Democratic budget that we're going to be taking votes on here very shortly moves forward. My core concern, my core complaint about the Ryan Republican budget coming over from the House is that it fails a number of these tests. It fails the test of actually promoting responsible economic growth. One of these three most important points about the Ryan budget, it eliminates 2 million jobs in the first year alone as an inevitable consequence of dramatic cuts to domestic spending that are essential. If we're going to out-educate, out-innovate, and outbuild our competitors in the global economy, we have to continue to invest in education, in infrastructure, in R&D. If you slash those things, the results will be a failure to grow our economy and the elimination of millions of jobs. Second, as Senator Boxer just spoke to at length, it changes the Medicare program into a voucher program. It changes the Medicaid program into a block grant to states. And frankly, on the test of whether or not it's balanced, it relies on a whole series of mathematical tricks or wild-eyed assumptions that don't balance. The amount of tax revenue that's raised by eliminating loopholes, by eliminating spending through the tax code, is significantly higher in the Ryan Republican budget than the Democrat budget. So on comparison, both budget plans use the closing of loopholes to raise significant new revenue. The Senate Democrat plan about $975 billion, the Ryan plan about $5.7 trillion. To what purpose? To what end? To give significant rate reductions to the wealthiest Americans and corporations in the Ryan budget. And the inevitable consequence is that it either doesn't balance or it raises taxes on the middle class. On the Democrat side, we have a balanced approach that is a combination of continued reductions in federal spending that is done in a balanced way and using that new revenue achieved through tax reform, through closing loopholes in the tax code to reduce the deficit. So then I think there's a clear contrast between these two. The Democratic budget prioritizes growth. The Republican budget prioritizes cuts. The Democratic budget puts the middle class at the center of its whole movement and theory, while the Republican budget focuses on more tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans. I believe our budget program focuses on balance, while the other on Republican ideology. I think we create a path to job creation, and they put us on a path to austerity. At the end of the day, I think our budget is rooted in math and in shared common American values, while the Republican budget relies on magic and on math that just doesn't add up. At the end of the day, if all of this is going to work and work well for the American people, it has to keep true to our most core values. In closing, I just wanted to raise again an idea that I've discussed a number of times on the floor and in the Budget Committee. We got a letter, the leadership of the House, the Senate, the President, a number of months ago, from religious and faith community leaders from all over the United States, from every possible background. A remarkably broad community participated in pointing us to shared values and urging us to draw a circle of protection in this budget around the most vulnerable Americans. As you've heard from other senators who've spoken today, as you've heard on the floor, we have put forward a budget plan that continues to protect programs on which the most vulnerable, the disabled, low-income seniors, children rely for their sustenance, for their support, and for their advancement in this society. And in my view, the values on which the Democratic budget plan, which we will move to in just a few hours, is rooted, are the values that best respect the best in America. Thank you.